Making condensers and water tanks, part 4. Marking out and drilling the holes in the corners of the bases, then cleaning up the holes and carefully rounding the edges. This is not quite as simple as it may look as you watch the video. Here are the 5 tanks sat on 5 bases that need some attention. In order to mount the tanks onto the baseboards, I need to drill holes in every one of the corners of the bases. And it would be nice if they were all in exactly the same place on every one of the bases. That's why it seemed like a good idea to drill all 5 bases at the same time. I'm only marking out the first of the bases, and I'm making sure that I get the line exactly corner to corner, compensating for the thickness of the felt tip pen's felt tip. For the next part of the job, marking the position where the holes are going to be drilled on these lines could be done by measuring using a steel rule, but I prefer this method. I find it very accurate. Instead of using a steel rule, I'm using a steel washer. The size of steel washer is quite important. It needs to be not too big and not too small. This one is actually perfect for the job. I'm holding the washer in position using a small pair of surgical forceps, and then using a Sharpie type felt tip pen, I draw a ring inside the washer. Then once again, using the felt tip pen, I fill in the centre of the ring. And now it looks like this. The 4 black dots are exactly in the place where I need them to be. You don't really have to fill in the rings that you've drawn inside the washers with the felt tip pen, but I find it easier to spot the centre of a black dot to make sure that the hole is in the right place. These 5 square pieces of brass have been cut using a guillotine, so they're not exactly the same size as each other. I've placed 4 mahogany blocks underneath the pieces of brass to support them when I'm going to be drilling them. Because of the guillotining method, not all of these pieces of brass are a tight fit, so I'm holding them with my hand to ensure they stay where I put them. The camera angle is not so good here. It was very difficult to get into the right position. I needed to put the camera where I was stood, which was not possible. I don't use a phone as a camera. I use a proper small mini movie camera. It's a Sony AX53. And as it's fitted to a professional tripod, it's not easy to get it in the right position every time. As you've just seen, first of all, I accurately spot the mark using a centre drill, and when the centre drill is in precisely the right position, I drill down through at least 2 or 3 of the 5 brass plates. Here I'm manually spotting the second hole. I'm only happy when it's in the centre, and I will only drill the hole when I know that it's in the centre. If you get this wrong, don't forget all 5 holes will not be in the same place as each other. It was at this point that I wish I'd used a bigger piece of wood underneath the parts. But really everything went well and all the holes were eventually drilled. And here is a shot of the tanks sat on top of the freshly drilled brass plates. The next part of the job is very important indeed. I need to deburr the holes on both sides. And a simple way to do this is just to use a large twist drill, which removes all of the burrs very easily. Later on, when I shape around the holes, I will eventually transfer the parts onto my 4-inch belt sander to clean up the roughly guillotined edges. The reason I'm deburring the holes using the twist drill is to make sure there aren't any holes on either side, just in case I get it wrong when I clean them up on the belt sander. I'll be using the 4-inch belt sander just to score the surface of the brass plates to give a good key for the paint. Just as a reference, even though these brass plates are already scored slightly, this is nowhere near the amount of scoring that you need to key for paint. This job is not as easy as I'm making it look. I've done a lot of this sort of thing and my eye is quite calibrated to a job like this, so I can see the end product before I even start. To become competent at this sort of thing, all you really need is practice. It's possibly a good idea to drill some holes in some random pieces of scrap metal and practice rounding the edges like I'm doing here. I'm not going to say that it's perfect, but it's near enough for rock and roll, to say the least. You do, however, need a delicate touch. You only take too much metal off once and the part is ruined. and that would not be good. Now, as I mentioned earlier, I'm using the 4-inch belt sander to clean up the edges. And once again, you need a firm but delicate touch. Control the position of the metal relative to the sanding belt at all times. I'm not actually showing the scratching of the surface in this part, I'm just showing how I clean the edges. In the next video, I will be drilling the holes in the tanks for the various fittings. Then each of the tanks in turn will be held in the chuck of my Smart & Brown lathe, which is a 4-jaw self-centering type, and I will clean them up using emery cloth, which will also key them for the paint. But there won't be a video tomorrow because I have to go to have a CT scan at a local hospital. Life is not much fun for me these days, but at least I think the cancer's gone. The CT scan is to investigate some damage done by the radiotherapy. But hey ho, I'm not dead yet. Stay safe, stay healthy, thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful. Please take the time to visit my Mainsteam Models website and click on the section of the website that says Video Playlists. And by doing that, you can find other videos that you may like to watch. And by using the playlists, you can actually watch the videos back to back.